Hello, most of you know me. My name is Dennis Cordis, so for those of you that don't. For those of you that do, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't inject the humor. I just can't stop. Couple of things to bring you up to speed on. My legs are going bad. I've got pinch sciatica and nerves that are on fire all the time. I can't go out and film videotape stuff much anymore. Kevin's behind the camera today for the quilt show. And my company, the Buccaneer Railroad, is paying for the airtime. We're sponsoring it with Channel 3 for the quilt show and the antique car cruise-in. And we are here at Wesleyan College in the gymnasium. And can you get a shot of that, Kevin? This is the 43rd quilt show for the 80th year of the Strawberry Festival. We want to thank Wesleyan College and the Strawberry Festival for letting us do this. With me is Carol Long, and have you got enough of that, Kevin? Okay. With me is Carol Long. Carol and I have worked together for how many centuries?
Oh, well, not centuries, but probably 20 years.
Oh, yeah, at least. Yeah. We're a good team. But Kevin's going to be your cameraman today because my legs just won't take it. A note about the Buccaneer Railroad. We're not running yet, but we are working on something a little cheaper that does involve public transportation in the entertainment form. That's all I'm going to tell you for right now, but what we are planning is a lot cheaper than buying a locomotive, especially when I don't have permission to use the tracks yet. But we're working on something. Hopefully we'll be ready by early fall. And then we'll shut down for winter on that idea, and then pick it up again in the spring. But I'm starting to purchase some equipment for this new idea. And that, so stay with us and don't give up hope. We're working on the railroad part of it. This new idea will be part of the railroad. So we'll see if it works. We'll see how it works. And Carol?
We're ready to go.
You ready to go? All right. I'm going to turn it over to Carol and Kevin and bid you all a fond farewell for the moment. I will see you again on the Antique Car Parade. I'll be in front of the camera the whole time on that one, Kevin. And my wife will be behind the camera. I'm going to have to train her for camera work also. So, thanks for watching, and I think you'll enjoy the quilts this year. I took a peek in there, and they're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
There's a lot more of them this year, too.
And for those of you who are looking for the quilt show, it is here at West Virginia Wesleyan. This time on the bottom floor, they have moved the arts and crafts to Stockard Youth Center.
Right.
So, Kevin, let's go in and see what's going on, and thank you and your sponsorship for us being able to do this.
You're very welcome.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't the car show going to be shown next week?
I think so.
Okay.
Unless Roddy decides to live stream it.
Okay. All right.
It's following the main feature parade this year, which is a little different, but it makes more sense actually. Because when the parade is done, the cars will come down and do their parade, and then they'll just fill up Main Street at the same time as they stop, and then we will go and tape it.
Okay. Well, we'll see you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
One of the things that people don't always have an idea about is how expensive quilts are sold for and why. Well, here's a really good sign as to how you decide on your quilts. Cost for materials, construction, finishing for a 65-inch square quilt. The fabric for the top is usually 6 yards, so when you buy that all for it, it's $60. The backing could be $45. The binding, $6 and something. 2 yards of batting, $22. So just the cost for the materials for that quilt would be $133.35. And then it goes on the construction. All the time it takes to do it. 50 hours to do, that's $10 an hour, so that's $500. So if you look at it, when you think sometimes it'll take a whole winter for somebody to do one by hand, some of them are appliqued. It's just all kinds of interesting things that make the prices go up on the quilts. We're going to start looking at them, and you're going to see folks have won these quilts. There's going to be a gift for some of that. Here's a really pretty one we're going to start out with. And I'm going to stand on this side, Kevin, and you take a look at the picture. This one has won the Junior Teens Choice. That's one of the royalty from the festival. They get to choose one. Also, it's Best of Show, and it's first place. And this is recipient of a $100 gift certificate from Mountain State Quilting in Phillips. It's hand appliqued, and this hand appliqued quilt is called Vintage Housewife. It's made by Sharon Wyatt. Sharon Wyatt quilted it. She owns it, and it's not for sale. It's a beautiful quilt. And I need to stop just a second here. Kevin, you can go ahead and look at that. Again, we'll talk about this being a hand applique. Someone did all of this work by hand. Now, I always like to take a look at the back side of any quilt, and to do that I just turn it over. It's really pretty on the back too, but one of the most important things that you do when you come into the quilt exhibit, if you even think about touching one of these quilts, you need to get a rubber glove, which they have at the desk, and these are used so that you don't get your hand oil on any of the quilts. But I think this one is just really, really nice. This next quilt is a long arm machine quilt. It's a large one. It's called Flying Geese. Mary Johnson did it. The Stitching House quilted it. Mary owns it, and it's a king size quilt. It is not for sale. Not quite done. Long arm machine quilt. And this one is Charlie's Critters. Mary Ellen Lemons made it. She quilted it. It's owned by Chris Carey. It is not for sale, but it also has a second place winner. And this is from the Strawberry Festival, second place. You notice all these stitching and everything. It's really pretty. Now this one is done by a machine. And it's really pretty. It's got all kinds of colors and things on it. This next one is a third place winner, and this one is a machine quilt, large. Showering Stars by Deborah Raines, quilted by Paula Tewitz. The owner is Deborah Raines. It is not for sale, but it's really got some pretty stars and all kinds. And these are always hard to do. You know, you have to make sure you cut these out just exactly right in order for them to fit properly when you put the quilt together. Let's see what's behind this one, Kevin. Sometimes they'll have a white background, sometimes it'll be quilted, sometimes it'll be really interesting to look at. We have the next one is a West Virginia Strawberry Festival honorable mention. This is called Fiesta by Joan Probst. It's quilted by Sunbird Quilts, and Joan owns it, and it's not for sale, but it's really pretty. It's got all kinds of different colors. A lot of times when people are doing these quilts, they will save pieces from all kinds of different things they've made in the past, and then they'll make sometime a crazy quilt or something that has a lot of different things that show you different pieces and different ways to do it. This one has a different background, and it's quilted in the back. Again, we have another long arm machine quilted. This is a large one. It's called Hunter's Star by Joyce Phillips. The Back Porch Quilters did the quilting on it. Joyce owns it, and it is not for sale. Let's look at the back one on this one, Kevin. Sometimes they use a material that's used a little bit in the quilt, and sometimes they'll have a whole different one. But you can see this one is used on the quilt on one side and on the other. Has some of the same colors. This is a long arm machine quilt. It's a large one. It's called Banana Pinwheel, and it's made by Terry Morrison, quilted by Catherine Everson, and Terry owns it. And this one is for sale. You could buy this quilt for $400. And let's look at the back of this one. It's got a white background and it's really pretty. I only have one hand to use here, but can you get that? And it's called, again, Banana Pinwheel. Here's the first place winner. This is a long arm machine quilted. This one was made by the Modern Building Blocks. No, the name of the quilt, I'm sorry, is Modern Building Blocks. Jill Cable did this one. Mary Ellen Lemons quilted it. Jill owns it, and it's not for sale. But look at all the pretty work that you see in this one. I love to see on these how they're quilted. It's really pretty. Blessed are the quilt makers, for they are the peacemakers. P-I-E-C-E makers. This one is a long arm machine quilted. It's a large quilt. It's called Hunter's Star, made by Marilyn Peterson. The quilted by the Linda Childers and Stitches Sew. Owner is Marilyn Peterson. It is not for sale. This is really pretty. It would be nice in a maybe a black and white, or maybe that's navy. I'm not sure which, but it's also got pretty work on the back. We always like to show the work. Now this one is machine. We're going to find a couple back here that are made by hand. Now this one's a little different. This is a machine pieced quilt, but it's hand quilted. And it's done, the name of it is Homespun Comfort, made by Patty Anderson, quilted by Patty Anderson, and she owns it. And she won second place. So you see that the machine pieced all of it around. Everything is done by machine until you get to the quilting part, and it's hand quilted. Now we have medium wall hangings. This one is a second place winner. It's called Star Spin. Jeannie Brown made it, she quilted it, and she owns it. That's pretty. That'd be nice on a table or on the wall if you wanted to hang it on a wall. You could even put a nice wooden trim around it. This one I thought was really interesting. Did I say she won second place on that?
I believe so. Beautiful.
Quilters make better comforters, it says. This one is really different. This is called Mary's Story. Mary Snelson made it. It's quilted by Mary, owned by Mary, and it's really different. This is a first place winner, and you just have so many pictures you can get out of this. You've got the flag, you've got the eagle, you've got the hearts for America. And this is not an easy thing to do, put all these little pieces together. So this is a really pretty quilt. This one is an amateur quilted quilt, Scrappy Flowering Snowball by Patty Anderson. She made it, she quilted it, she owns it. And it's just all kinds of different things. Look at all the different pieces she had to put in there to make this quilt. And it really, I would maybe call it something like a crazy quilt because it's got so many different things in it, but it's really pretty. And you can see the circles, you can see all the different design that she's made in it. And I want to get the back side. Again, she has done that. That's really pretty. Our next one is an amateur quilt again. It's a 4-patch. Jill Cable made it. She quilted it. She owns it. And your 5 patch. You can see the 5 patch here. I don't know what this one has on the back. Let's look at, oh, it's got the brown material again. That sort of gives you, you know, sometimes these quilts are made in such a way you can use both sides if you want to, on a bed or on a wall. This is an amateur quilt. It is a 2nd place winner. Cool Kaleidoscope for Ukraine. Bonnie Riffle made it. She quilted it and she owns it, and it is for sale for $700. This is really pretty. Look at all the different colors. That would be nice to put on a wall. And it would go with about any color of your wall, wouldn't it? This is another amateur quilt, Path and Circles by Jeannie Brown, quilted by Jeannie and owner by Jeannie, and she won 1st place. It's just got all kinds of different designs in it. And then over here we have a medium wall hanging, Circle of Love. This is made by Sharon Wyatt, quilted by Sharon and owned by Sharon, and it's not for sale. See the hearts? Now you might like this one, Kevin. This is an amateur quilt, Ducks, Etc. by Mickel Brown. Quilted by Jeannie Brown and owner Mickel Brown. It is not for sale, but it's got all kinds of birds in it. And it's very different. Would you like something like that in your house? Probably. You like animals and birds? The quilter who dies with the most material wins. I think that's an interesting tale, because people who quilt have lots and lots of materials. Here's an honorable mention. This is an amateur quilt, Endless Direction by Sherry Shreves. She made it, quilted it, and owns it. It is not for sale, but the colors are just really, really pretty in this one.
It's one better to see in person than on camera.
Yeah, that's true. You can just see so many things. Let's see how this one looks at in the bottom. Oh, I can't. Can you get that? There. See how it's quilted? That's so pretty. And that would be pretty laying on a bed just like that. Here's another amateur quilt, Liberty Legacy. Sharon Wyatt made it, quilted it, and owns it. It is not for sale, and she got third place on this one. This will be nice with burgundy walls or green. So you got a lot of choices there if you want that on a wall or on a bed or across the back of something. It's really pretty. Now this is another large wall hanging, Stars and Stitches. Jane Bowers made it. Marjorie Kofi quilted it, and Jane owns it. It is not for sale, but that's really pretty. That's another one that would hang in a lot of different rooms, depending on the colors that you have in your walls and your furnishings. Okay, this one's a little hard to read. This is a first place winner. I can't see what the name of the quilt is, but it's Sherry.
Silhouettes August.
Thank you. You're a lot taller than I am. Sherry Shreves did it. She made it. She also quilted it and owns it, and won first place. This one is a third place winner in a medium wall hanging, and it's called West Virginia Style Sunset. Bonnie Riffle made this one. She quilted it and she owns it. It is not for sale, but that's pretty too, isn't it? Some of the sunsets look like that. My wife is a quilter and our house is in pieces. They have these little signs all along the way and they're really cute. Now here is a large wall hanging. This is called Schoolgirl Sampler. Patty Anderson made it, she quilted it, and she owns it. It is not for sale. She won second place on this one. I just think it's marvelous the way these people are able to make all kinds of different pictures and mix up all these little tiny pieces and put them all together. I'm going to get on the other side of you here and see what this one looks like. Isn't that pretty? Here's a large wall hanging, Batik Madness by Bonnie Riffle, quilted by Mountain State Quilting. Bonnie owns it, and it is for sale for $500. Remember, we were talking about how much material, how much time it takes to make all these, and all the different things that you have to do. And again, you have to put some stuffing in it, and you also have to have a really pretty backing. This is a different backing, but it's really pretty. This one is display only. It's called Seasonal Silhouettes March. And Sherry Shreves made it, quilted it, and she owns it. It's not for sale. How about the boot up there? Can you tell me what this is right here? I can't see it that far.
Seasonal Silhouettes, July.
Okay. And is that Sherry Shreves that did
Yes.
it? Okay, and she owns it. Some of these are just a little bit taller than I can see with my eyes. I like this one. It says Going in Circles. Jeannie Brown made it, quilted it, and owns it, and it's a large wall hanging. She won first place. And I bet she just came up with that idea all on her own, don't you? It's different, because nothing is really alike. It's all different. Here's a third place winner. This is a large wall hanging. It's called Mariner's Compass. Mickel Brown did this one, and Jeannie Brown quilted it, and Mickel owns it. It is not for sale, but he did win third place, and it's really pretty. All these ornate points and stars, they're just really pretty. This one is an honorable mention. It's a large wall hanging. Now, I'm going to ask you, because I was here yesterday and I couldn't quite figure out who these animals were, but it says it's all stacked up. Deborah Raines did it. Paula T. Lewitz, I guess, is the one who quilted it, and Deborah Raines owns it. Now, what do you think those could that be a cow?
That's a possibility there. Looks like a cow, but
Is the other one up there maybe a pig?
looks like it.
I'm not sure, but I think it's cute. It's a really cute large wall hanging, and honorable mention for it. Here's a medium wall hanging. It's called Courthouse Steps, and it was made by Pam Brown, quilted by Mary Ellen Lemons, and Pam owns it. And then the one right below it is a miniature quilt, Time and Again by Mickel Brown, and he quilted this one, and he also owns it, and he got honorable mention. Another honorable mention is Sunset Ridge by Jeannie Brown. She made it, quilted it, and she owns it. She got honorable mention too. Quilting is forever, housework whenever you get to it. This one is pretty, and I didn't see anything. This might be, somebody might have brought it in and said, well, I'd just like for this, for it to be seen, so would you hang it up? It doesn't have a name or anything on it, but it's a really pretty quilt. It would probably be classified as a wall hanging. This one has an interesting name. It got honorable mention. It's a baby or a child's quilt, and the name of it is Zoo Baby Pinwheel. Bonnie Riffle made it, quilted it, and she owns it. That's interesting, isn't it? Now we're at the back of the gym, and I want to talk to some of these ladies about some of the things they have. We'll start over here. This is the lady I met. Ann, yeah, she does. You're Ann.
I'm Ann.
You're Ann. Say hello.
Hello, I'm Ann.
And tell us about what this is all about here with the quilts.
With the little store we've got? Okay. The different quilters in our guild make things. Some things they donate. Some things they put their initials on, and the club takes 10%. But we like to have a nice little store every time so people can take a quilt home with them.
Have you been selling things today?
Yes, ma'am. We've sold quite a bit.
I think since yesterday when I was here you have.
Yes.
Let's start down here and you just give us a little view of what's going on here.
Well, we've got some table runners. We've got bowl cozies.
Now Dennis likes these. He wants
Yes.
to know what you're going to put in these in these nice little things. I
Okay.
said
You get a bowl.
a bowl.
You put it in the microwave, and when you take it out, you don't burn your fingers.
Isn't that a smart idea?
Or if ice cream bothers your fingers, the cold, you can put your ice cream bowl in there.
Neat idea.
So-
And these have some real pretty strawberries.
Yes.
Just a little bit of everything. And if you are a West Virginia fan, there's something
Right.
there with that.
Right.
And now tell us about these.
Okay, these you put your Kleenex box in.
And you
it's
won't
ju-
forget where it is.
Yes. And these, you put your plastic bags in.
The ones that you shop at the store.
At the
And you need
store.
a place to put them.
And
instead
so
of just
you
laying them around.
stuff them in the top and pull them out the bottom.
Neat.
So that's
How
that
much are
one.
those?
Those are $15
And you have a West Virginia one and a
Uh-huh.
strawberry one.
and a Marshall.
And a Marshall. There you go. If you're looking for something. Oh, now tell us what this is.
Okay, this is a quilt, and it was made by one of our members, and it is for sale also.
Okay. And if somebody is thinking about shopping, they can still shop tomorrow.
Oh yes, yes, up until when we close.
Okay. Now tell us about this. Oh, potatoes maybe for that?
Well, this is just a donation.
Okay.
It's a little mat that you can put on your counter and put something on
Okay.
when you take it out of the oven.
Okay. And what about the things on the end? What do they hold?
The lady that made them said you could put little things in them and give them as a gift. Sewers, they could put their little scissors and different things in there and have them handy.
Neat.
And then those are little hot pads.
Those are pretty. They've got strawberries on them.
Yes, we have lots of little hot pads here. This one, you can blow a balloon up in it.
Oh,
and it's a
really?
balloon holder.
Huh.
Kids can play with it.
I think I'm going to turn around this way so you can see what's there in
Okay.
the front. You might
And
want to
then-
speak up a little bit.
We've got lots of little things. This is made from an actual bag, and it's a little something to put something in.
Yeah, whatever you want to put it in.
Yeah, and it's neat because it has fabric on the inside.
Oh, neat.
These
I
are
like them.
ponytail holders.
Ponytail holders.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a ponytail.
I don't either.
A lot of people do. These are pretty with the strawberries.
Yes.
Is that like a little pin to
A little
wear?
pin has the pin on it, and you can put it on your clothing and wear it. These are little squishy octopuses, octopi.
Octopi, yeah.
Got some quilted dishcloths. Now
Did
these.
you ever find out what these were for?
No, I have asked and asked.
I know, but I can't think. I've used them before, but I can't remember what they're for.
Yeah, if you'd hold something hot,
Yeah.
it would hurt your fingers.
Yeah, I think it
but
would.
they're real neat. Beautiful key holders.
I like these.
These are the neatest things. We have the small and the large.
for notes.
Yes.
You can take it with you wherever you go.
Yes,
You
and
can
it's
have
hard.
envelopes if you
Yes. And it's hard enough just to write on the surface.
want 'em. Okay.
And we have some more table runners.
Pretty. Ooh, this is
A
pretty.
beautiful quilt.
That'd be pretty on the wall.
Oh
wouldn't it?
yes, wall hanging.
How much is this one?
It is actually a wall hanging because it has the little thing.
That is beautiful.
It would be on the corner what it is.
Oh, here it is. Blue Cross. $98.
$98.
That's gorgeous.
It
Look at all
is.
the crosses.
Yes,
That
and
is-
I love the
I shouldn't have
butterflies.
touched it with my hand, but
That's
I did.
quite all
I have
right.
I'm having a time with this microphone.
And these hang on your refrigerator or your stove, and you can just dry your hands on them. And we have little bags, project bags, for little ones and big people.
Oh, those are cute.
Aren't those cute?
And little purses, and or something. There's
Those are
what's in this one?
for Kleenex.
Kleenex, okay.
The small
bag.
Kleenex.
Put that in your purse and you not lose your Kleenex.
Right. And little zipper totes can be used for anything.
Oh, and here's another. This looks like another cross.
Yes.
Different colors.
Yes.
They're really pretty.
So we have lots of nice quilts. Our table runner, our
You can use these for so many different things.
Yeah.
You know, if you had a room that just had one little window,
Yes.
you could put this above that window.
Yes.
Be really pretty on the inside and outside.
And you can use them for lap quilts. You
That's
know, just
nice,
to go
too.
over your lap.
You showed me some last year, I think, or the last time we did this, and those could be used to put over a person's wheelchair.
Yes, we don't have any of those this time, but yes,
That's
we
a
do.
neat idea.
Yes.
Okay.
And then some more quilts.
Now, are these patterns or something over
These are
here?
patterns.
Let's look at those real quick, and then we need to move on.
These are all patterns. They were donated for us to maybe make a little bit of cash on. And then this is one of those things you put over your neck and you can wipe your hands on.
Isn't that neat? I like the pictures in it.
Oh, yeah.
You just have all kinds of ideas. And tell us again who you are as a group
We are Quilters at Heart.
at heart. And do you meet regularly?
We meet once a month on the second Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Now, in July, we don't meet because everyone's on vacation, but
So if somebody is interested in quilting, should they give someone here a call?
yes,
You
yes.
have a phone number?
We have cards.
Cards, okay.
Yeah, let me grab one.
All right. I heard someone talking as I came here today, and they said, I would love to learn how to quilt, and I'd like to do that.
Yes, you want to take a picture of that. We have a demonstration at every meeting, so they
Okay.
do a little something.
It can be any different project.
Right.
Okay. So about how many do you have in your club?
Oh, I don't know. There might be 15 or 20. They don't all come to the meetings on, every
Same
time.
time.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know. So look in that camera and invite someone to come and share with you.
Yes, please come to our meetings if you're interested in sewing and quilting. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your help again today. Okay, let's go over here and see what else we have on the other side. This is a baby or a child quilt, and the name of it is Diamond Star Baby. Thayla Fisher did it. It was quilted by the Country Roads Quilting Group, and Thalia also owns it. This is a really pretty quilt. It's an honorable mention. This is an antique quilt, double wedding ring. Can you see the double wedding rings, how they're all intertwined? My grandmother used to make a lot of those years ago. Joyce Phillips made this one. The church group at St. Mary's, West Virginia quilted it. She owns it, and it is not for sale. I want to look at the other side of this one too. I'm having trouble doing, I'll scoot over here, I'm sorry. There, I can lift this up. Isn't that pretty inside? It's beautiful work. Now here is a long arm machine quilted. It's called Pandemic Red, White, and Blue. Bonnie Riffle made it. She quilted it. She owns it. And she does have it for sale. It's $1,000. It's a large quilt too. Lots and lots of things that she has done on this one. We'll look at the back side of it too, so you can see what she has on the back. You see the flowers. She made flowers right here. It's really pretty. Now, if you're a West Virginia fan, this is a long arm machine quilted piece for whoever might like something with West Virginia. You see the mail pouch barn, and you see flowers. You see all kinds of, there's a bear. We have the Cardinal. This one is a long arm machine quilted West Virginia Memories by Joyce Zirkle, quilted by Catherine Everson, and Joyce owns it. It is not for sale. It also is quilted with a white. And again, the quilting, in order to keep a quilt nice and warm, you have to put a batting in there. So between this and what you see on the back would be something to keep it warm when you have it over you. Here's another long arm machine quilted. This one had third place. It's called The Stars Are Gathering. That's pretty. Deborah Raines did this. It was quilted by Paula Tiewowitz. Deborah Raines also owns it, and it is not for sale. That's pretty. I like all the colors in it. Okay, here is one that is honorable mention. Cinnaberry. This is a long arm machine quilt. Pam Brown made this one. Mary Ellen Lemons quilted it. Pam Brown owns it. It is not for sale, but it did win an honorable mention. Let's see what color she has on the back of this one.
That's pretty.
It's a cream color like the front. It's really pretty. That'd be pretty in a beige bedroom, or possibly one that's burgundy. Hi.
You couldn't do a lot of that with.
Here's an embroidered quilt.
Carol.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you, ladies.
It's good to see you.
This is the second place winner. It's called the Garden Wall. Jeannie Brown made it, quilted it, and owns it. It is not for sale. But embroidery, if you look at this, she's embroidered different things through it. So that's an embroidered quilt that has some additional things that the person puts in it, like the lace, and see how the lace goes up and down here, and different kinds of streams. It's really pretty. You ought to like this one too. This is a long arm machine quilted. It's medium. It's called Holiday Heartland Barns. Joyce Phillips did it. It's quilted by the Back Porch Quilters, and Joyce owns it. I just see barns. I see tractors and wagons, and I see a truck. There's birds. This is really pretty. I'm going to go over here again and look at the back side of this one. Oh, look, it's got trees. See it now? Isn't that pretty? That's a different background. It's this background right here. So it's used someplace in the quilt.
You hit this one here from where that
Oh, I missed it. Yes, right where the ladies were. This is a long arm machine quilt. This is State of Zen. Kitty Lee made it. Patsy Turner quilted it, and Kitty Lee owns it. And this is a first place winner. This is really pretty. A long arm machine. Now this was done with a machine. Some of them are done by hand. They're all pretty, it doesn't matter. This one has a sort of a pink background, but see the designs on them? Aren't those pretty, Kevin? I mean, I just think it's important to look at both sides because you see a lot. Did we do this one? We did, didn't we? Okay. I thought this was a very interesting quilt too. This is called Garden Whimsy. Mary Ellen Lemons did this, and she quilted it, and she owns it. She won first place. And look at all the embroidery work she did on this. That's additional to making the quilt. You have to do different things on each one, so it can be stitchery, it can be all kinds of things. That's really pretty. I like them all. And here's another one. This is a display only. This quilt is for the birds. Sherry Shreves did it. She quilted it and owns it. And this one is for sale for $500. So let's see what this looks like on the back. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's quilted on the back too. That is really different.
Which one's for sale for 500?
This one.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, how are you ladies? Did you do one of these? It was a Kitten Lee, I think, that did it.
There's a lot of Kitten Lee.
Yeah.
She's the registered nurse.
Did you see, look at this on the back. Granny's Garden. Are we ready? Granny's Garden by Sharon Wyatt. She quilted it and she owns it. She got first place on this too. This is a machine applique. This means that it's an applique, but it's done with a machine. Here's another hand applique. This is called Clamshell. Thea Fisher did this one. The Stitching House quilted it, and Thea owns it. It is not for sale, but I just can't get over how they can put all these pretty colors together and make it look so beautiful. And that takes a lot of work. You don't just throw them on there. You have to make sure they're sewn. And this one is hand applique, so she did this by hand. This is Diamond Delight. This is a display only from Sherry Shreves. She made it, quilted it, and owns it. That's pretty. This is another hand applique. That means whoever did all this work did it by hand, and look at the beautiful stitching that's on this quilt. This was done, it's called Dresden Flowers. Susie Bender made it. She quilted it and she owns it, and it is for sale. It's for sale for $800. And I have to look at the back of this one. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's as pretty on the back as it is on the front, but I like the colors in the flowers. But I think this is beautiful work. You don't see that all the time. Excuse me. This one is also a hand applique, and this is called Calico Rose. Bonnie Hardman made it. Dolores Thompson hand quilted it, and the owner's Bonnie Hardman, and it is not for sale. And this one, an honorable mention. Look at the beautiful flowers, and again, the quilting. This is a big quilt too. But it's all hand applique. That means she has done this by hand. Look at the back side of that one. Isn't that pretty? Now we have something that looks like a window. This is home decor. Through Ada's Eyes, made by Deborah Curtis, quilted by Deborah Curtis, and she owns it. And she got third place. And it's got animals, and you did this with like a window pane. So that could be hung up in a house somewhere or put on a porch. It's really pretty. Now this one is mixed techniques. That means that they just do all kinds of different things in this. And Sherry Shreves did it. She quilted it. She made it, she quilted it, and she owns it. It is not for sale. She won 3rd place, but when you say mixed techniques, she's just got a little bit of everything in here. Whoops, I gotta go this way. This is another one that's mixed techniques. Log Cabin Flowers by Patty Booth, quilted by Susie Bender, and the owner is Susie Bender. And this one is for sale for $800. Now this is a huge quilt, so you could do a probably king-size bed with this one. It's really pretty. Again, it's mixed techniques. It just has flowers and it has blocks and it has all kinds of trim. I'm going to slip over here on this side and see what it looks like on the back. Just all kinds of stitching. This was one of my favorites too. Where's the?
That log cabin.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Hard to do.
This one is called Baskets. I think this is so pretty. It's got a lot of color in it. Susie Bender made it. She quilted it and she owns it. And this one is a really good deal for what she's done. She is selling this one for $1,000. And look at that. That would be gorgeous in a burgundy room, a white room, or navy, light blue. You could even use red probably. Got to show the back of this one. It's hard to do this because it will not stay. But you can see all kinds of stitching on that one. Old quilters never die, they just go to pieces. This is a friendship quilt. It's mixed techniques again, all kinds of different things in the picture. Terry Morrison made it. It's quilted by Catherine Everson, and Terry owns it. And this one also is for sale for $400. It's got names in it, and maybe it's people she knew. I'm not sure, but that's pretty. I gotta look at the back of this one. Let's see if I can. Oh, that's pretty. Looks like a puzzle, doesn't it? With all the pieces. Can you take the top? Yeah. Life, it takes all kinds. This quilt was made by Joyce Davis. This quilt was inspired by Ricky Tim's teaching and my loving, gentle grandson. It's meant to be a subtle rainbow, imperfect and textured, but combining to make a beautiful whole, just like life. It's a mixed technique. Again, you've got different things going on all through the quilt. Life, it takes all kinds. Joyce Davis made it, quilted by Joyce Davis with a domestic machine. Owner is Joyce Davis. That's different. That would be pretty on the wall. This one is display only. Fan Dance is the name of this, made by Pam Brown. That's different. That'd be pretty on the wall, wouldn't it? Okay, this one is Mixed Techniques, Nocturnal Gaze by Deborah Thayer Curtis, quilted by David Ramsberg. Owner is Deborah Thayer Curtis. It is not for sale, but she won first place on this. It's got some beautiful colors and designs. Look at all the pretty quilting that you see in this. That's really pretty. And I think this one is really interesting too. This again is Mixed Techniques. And if you notice, look at all the work that goes into all those different pictures that are on there. It's called Vintage Christmas. It's by Kitty Lee, quilted by Diana Beveridge, and owner is Kitty Lee. But there's just, you can just keep looking at that and looking at it, and you just keep seeing different things. You got candles, churches, hearts, peppermint sticks, and that's Mixed Techniques, plus all the different things that she's done around the rest of the squares and around the bottom. That's pretty. I'm a quilter and my house is in pieces. This is a really pretty one, I think. This is a recipient of a $50 gift certificate from Mountain State Quilting in Phillips. It also is the judge's choice from the festival here. And this second place is also a second place winner for the Strawberry Festival. It's mixed techniques again, where you have all kinds of different things. Look how hard it would be to make that little hat for the bird, or maybe put all this stuff on the pumpkin. Look at the bird's nest and the bird's head. It's just different. You have to just keep looking and looking at it to see what's going on. It's called Birdie's Year. Mary Ellen Lemons made it, quilted by Mary Ellen, and she owns it. It is not for sale, but that is gorgeous. And I'm going to come over here. Isn't that pretty? Look at the little scarf on the bird. Let's see what the back side looks like. That's different, but this would be pretty hanging on a wall as well. Looks like each one of the birds has some kind of a different little thing around its head. And here, this one has a cap on, and you have a squirrel visiting with it. You even have strawberries up there.
It's a calendar quilt in the form of birds.
There you go. There you go. Now on this table, there's some special things that they have. This is home decor. And Strawberry Runner, it's by Joyce Phillips. It's not for sale. And you have some, I think these maybe are pillows. No, maybe not, maybe it's a runner as well. It says home decor. So it's just things that different folks have made. This one is a strawberry table runner. Sherry Shees did this one. And this one is for sale for $50. The others I don't seem to think are. Okay, this is a first place winner in home decor. This is called the Christmas Cactus. Sherry Shreves did this one, and she quilted it, and she owns it. It is not for sale, but she won first place. And here is a Boho Pillow by Patty Anderson. She made it, quilted it, and owns it. It is not for sale, but she got second place on that. And then over here, this is a double wedding ring. And again, this double wedding ring, you can really see this here. Many, many years ago, this was one of the favorite ones that parents, mothers, grandmothers would make. And then when their grandchild or their daughter married, they'd give them this double wedding ring. Jill Cable did this. It's the Stitching House quilted it, and Jill owns it. It's not for sale. And this last one is the Lighthouse Table Topper by Ann Mickel. And she made it, quilted it, and owns it. And this one is for sale for $48 if you like lighthouses. We're going to go back over here and talk to these ladies really quick. And here, yeah, we need to talk about this one quilt back here. This is pretty. Quilters at Heart by Buchanan. That's pretty. Tell us about this quilt right here.
Okay. It is, we have a sign here. It's all the guild members made squares, and Patty did the borders with the applique. Mary was the assembler, and Jill Bentley at Back Porch Quilters quilted it for us. And the proceeds go to Ruth's House. It is a Bible-based recovery program for women.
Okay. And where is that located? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay,
I'm
well,
sorry.
Ruth's house.
Ruth's
right?
house.
Okay. And so is this going to be given away?
Yes, it's being raffled. The drawing is going to be in October.
Okay.
That will give us, the summer.
More time?
Yeah.
Okay. So I see up there you can get one ticket for $1 or 6 for $5. So if you see this, and we're going to be showing this next week on Channel 3.
Oh, great.
So if you happen to see this quilt, who could they get a hold of?
All the quilt members of the guild.
You got one phone number maybe?
Do we know Patty's phone number off the top of our head? Let me see. I have Patty's phone number here.
It might have been, would there have been a phone number on the bottom of a program here? I saw a phone number
Yes, there was.
someplace. You can find it there. Yeah, here
Yes,
we go.
Patty Anderson.
Patty Anderson is the president, right? And her phone number is 304-531-2858. If you want to maybe get with one of the ladies, she could tell you who, and you
Exactly.
could get some chances on this quilt. Maybe you'll win it.
Yes.
And you'll help somebody with it as
Exactly.
well. All right.
I would like to show you the label. I love this. Oops, gotta get it the right way. There's actually a Bible verse here, and it comes from the chapter of Ruth. Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a kinsman redeemer. And I just love that it's from the book of Ruth, and it's going to Ruth House.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we have really enjoyed being here today with all of these gorgeous quilts. I had an awful time, and I could have picked about 4 for my favorite or 5. All of them, they're all beautiful, just beautiful quilts. So we thank you all so much, and it's nice having you down on the first floor. You could spread out. It was quiet for us to do the interview. Have you had several folks here today? And you still have another day to go. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for allowing us to come in and film. And we just thank all these wonderful people who do quilting and do such a good job. And if you remember, oh, that sounds like it's an awful big expense for a quilt. Well, we went through some of the things they have to buy in order to make a quilt. So, including their time and their creativity, they're worth every penny you spend. So we thank you, and we hope you enjoy the quilt show. And if you're interested, you can give one of these ladies a call, and you could go and help them make quilts, right?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Well, we thank you again for joining us. We thank Dennis Cordes and his Burr line for being the sponsor. Thank you, Kevin. This is our first time together. We did okay. Sometimes I don't always get the names right, but I think we gave you a good picture of what you've missed if you didn't get here. So think about it next year. It's usually here at West Virginia Wesleyan on campus inside the gym area. So put this down. Say, next year I want to go to the quilt show. He's giving you a shot of what this gym looks like. It's a pretty good place for you to have all these things. Yes. One last picture again. Turn around and get this quilt that people can buy a ticket on and win it. $1 for a ticket or $6 for $5, and it goes to Ruth's house, the money that you collect for it. Thank you, ladies, so much.